I know exactly what you've been told your whole life, that you're too sensitive, that you need to toughen up, that you shouldn't take things so personally. You've probably spent years apologizing for your tears, rehearsing how to explain a reaction you didn't choose and can't switch off. I'm here to tell you the diagnosis was wrong. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not weak, and you are certainly not a mistake. Psychologists call you a highly sensitive person. I prefer a different term, supersensor. While everyone else is recording the world in standard definition, your brain is recording in 8K. Today, we're going to look at the neuroscience that proves your sensitivity isn't a defect. It's a high-performance radar system the world desperately needs. The hardware? This isn't a personality quirk. It's biology. Research shows your brain processes information differently than most people's do, from the moment a sight or sound or feeling reaches you to the moment you respond to it. Think of the brain like a camera. Most people's brains shoot in standard definition. Efficient, good enough, easy on memory. They capture what's necessary and let the rest blur into the background. Yours shoots in 8K. Nothing blurs. Neuroscience points to 3 upgrades that explain why life feels so intense for you. First, your brain lacks a filter. Neuroscientists call this low latent inhibition. Most brains ignore 90% of what they encounter to save energy. Background noise gets treated as irrelevant, filed away before it ever reaches conscious awareness. Your brain treats everything as relevant. The texture of the chair, the hum of the refrigerator, the flicker in someone's expression before they've said a word. All of it arrives at once, unsorted, undimmed. That's why a crowded room can leave you drained in 20 minutes flat, while it barely registers for the person next to you. But it's also why you notice the beauty, the patterns, and the solutions everyone else walks straight past. Second, your mirror neurons run hot. These are the neurons behind empathy. Most people understand that someone is sad, in the abstract, the way you understand a fact. You feel it in your own body. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, because your brain is quite literally simulating their emotional state as if it were your own. You're not imagining their pain. You're an emotional sponge in a world full of spills, and you rarely get to choose which spills you absorb. Third, and this is the most misunderstood one, you go deeper. Psychologists call it the pause-to-check strategy. In conversation or when making a decision, you might feel slower than everyone else. You might beat yourself up for hesitating, for turning something over one more time before you speak. Here's the science. You're not slow, you're thorough. Where others do shallow processing, just reacting to what's in front of them, your brain runs a deep semantic encoding. It's connecting this moment to your memories, predicting outcomes several steps ahead, weighing the meaning behind the words and the ones left unsaid. You don't hesitate because you're confused. You hesitate because your brain is running a full simulation to find the best possible outcome for you and for everyone else in the room. That's not a bug. That's high-level computation happening in real time, mostly outside your awareness. Why evolution kept you around? If sensitivity were a weakness, natural selection would have bred it out thousands of years ago. It didn't. Roughly 1 in 5 people carries this trait, consistently across cultures and generations. That's not a design flaw that slipped through. That's a feature evolution went out of its way to preserve. Why? Because the tribe needed you. The warriors, the bold, non-sensitive majority, were essential for hunting and fighting and pushing into unknown territory. But a tribe of only warriors dies fast, rushing into danger without a plan, missing the signs until it's too late. The tribe also needed advisors. The one who noticed the storm before it hit, the one who sensed the neighboring tribe was lying before a single spear was raised, the one who read the group's mood and stopped a conflict before it started. That was you. Your weakness is a sophisticated early warning system tuned to pick up exactly what the warriors are built to miss. Modern society, though, is loud, fast, and built for warriors. That's why you feel out of place in so many rooms. But out of place is not the same as without value. A radar system doesn't malfunction because it's placed in the wrong environment. It just needs a different environment to do what it does best. The cost and the fix. Carrying this radar comes with a price. Because you process everything so deeply, you hit your limit faster than other people do. And it doesn't take a crisis to get you there. A long day of small input is enough. When you suddenly shut down, when you need to disappear into a dark, quiet room and be reachable by no one, that isn't drama. That's your RAM running full. Your system is overheated, and it needs to cool down before it can run again. Science has a good metaphor for this. Most people are dandelions. Resilient, able to grow almost anywhere. A crack in the sidewalk or a tended garden doesn't much matter. The outcome is roughly the same either way. You are an orchid. Force an orchid into a harsh, noisy environment and it withers, faster and harder than the dandelion ever would. For years, you've probably blamed yourself for not being a dandelion, for needing more than everyone around you seems to need. But there's a phenomenon called vantage sensitivity. Put an orchid in the right conditions, the right light, the right soil, the right care, and it doesn't just survive. It blooms with a complexity and a depth of color the dandelion could never touch. The same sensitivity that makes you wilt in the wrong environment is what makes you extraordinary in the right one. You don't need to toughen up to survive the sidewalk. You need to move yourself to the greenhouse. Curate your life to support your sensitivity. The right people, the right pace, enough quiet built into your days. And you don't just catch up to everyone else. You surpass them. The prescription: stop trying to install a tougher filter. You can't change your biology and you shouldn't want to. The world has enough numbness already. It doesn't need you thicker skinned, it needs you exactly as you are. Protect your gift the way you'd protect any instrument that's this finely calibrated. Build your boundaries without apologizing for them. Honor your need for silence, for recovery time, for fewer plans in a single day than everyone else seems to manage. And the next time someone tells you that you're too sensitive, take a breath, smile inwardly, and remember, you don't have a defect. You're seeing the world in 8K while most people are still watching in standard definition, and wondering why you notice so much that they missed. In a world growing more disconnected, more numbed out, more scrolling past everything by the day, your ability to feel isn't a burden. It's the very thing that makes you human. And it's the very thing this moment needs more of, not less.